didn't let me get my degree. So it was a big deal. I went into the Rowan University office and everything. I said, I can't find my jerseys. What are we going to do? They said, you have to pay for them. I said, that's fine. How much? It was like 400 or like 300, almost a little less than $500. I was like, for the one jersey, it was our home jersey.
Are you
So I was
kidding?
like, they're like, you're going to have to pay for it. I'm like, okay. So I live right by the school. I commuted to college. So I drove home. Mind you, I'm a broke college athlete. I didn't have much money. I went and got the money, $400 cash. I gave it to them. I said, here you go. They didn't even think I would do that. I literally did it. And they wrote out like a physical receipt for me and everything. And I kept it. And that was it. And they took off the hold and I had my jersey.
Wow.
I was like, they literally just made me go do that. But I mean, at the end of the day, I would have paid $1,000 for that. But it was just like the principle of it. I was like, they wouldn't let me graduate. I put my whole life into this.
Right.
Give me my jersey. Like,
You know what's funny though? Like I've done stuff with clothes and stuff the last couple of years, even including this. You know what I'm saying? Me and my people made this right here, Strong Island. You know what I mean? But one thing a lot of us, you know, especially at that age, didn't know is that most likely within a 5-mile radius, the company they're ordering the jerseys from is right there. We could go right there.
It's true. You're 100% right. And that's hilarious because I could have done that. And that's exactly the case.
It's like we're not thinking that. And then we're so emotional. We're caught up in the moment. Like, oh, you know, so.
Literally, you killed it. It's the truth. So I found out that is the case. And what happened was they wanted the jerseys back so they could sell the jerseys. They have like a Barnes and Noble and they would, because they switched from Nike to Adidas.
Right.
So they were selling all the old Nike jerseys at the Barnes and Noble. So I was like, you're going to sell my jersey though. I was so pissed. I was like, no way. This is like my, but I could have probably just went to the place, got like a made Rowan jersey, put my number on it. Would have been the same thing. I was like so emotionally attached to it. I was like, nah, give me that. Like,
I bought a new one and give them that one and then keep my own one.
yeah.
For real. So a question came in on the chat. Musky Dog says,
Doge.
Doge, a favorite Pokemon of all time.
Wow. I actually, all right, this is a great, there's one more Pokemon card that I didn't bring out. Maybe it's upstairs. I just didn't get it, but it's still in the original wrapper and it's a first edition. It's a Machamp. I don't know if they know that one, but I only like that one. It's my favorite Pokemon just because I have that card and it's a first edition. It's still in the original wrapper. So for me, I feel like that card is like really special. And Machamp just looks amazing. It's like a muscular evolved version. Like, I don't know. I think that's one of my favorites.
Nice.
Other than that, I would say, I think Mewtwo, because isn't Mewtwo like an alien type Pokemon?
Yeah.
Let me know in the chat. But
I didn't know anything about him. I could pull these out right now, but I didn't know anything about him until I went searching for him in a bunch of Oreo Pokemon packs. So I'm sitting on about 6 packs of Pokemon Oreos right now.
You haven't opened them?
eBay if anybody wants them, you know what I'm saying? They're up there. But yeah, that's who you're chasing is this Mew character, whatever. And it's a couple other rare ones, but that's the main one you want. Mew, Mew?
Mewtwo, I think, right?
I don't know. Yeah, it's very rare. That's the one. Yeah.
That's a good one.
So we didn't talk stocks or crypto. Are you into crypto or stocks possibly?
Yeah, so I would love, not so much stocks. I mean, I just feel like this, I don't have too much money right now to invest in a whole bunch of other things. Like I put all my capital into Veve and Omi. I just felt like for me, that was the best possible return on investment long term. I would be in a whole bunch of other cryptos though. I really do like, I can list a couple that I like a lot. If I had money, I would definitely be in them right now. Maybe, get a little bit, diversify a little bit. But for me, I think diversifying when you don't have much money is not the best strategy, at least for me. I feel like that's a great way to like save your wealth, but like I'm trying to make wealth. So I just put it all in on Veve Omi. There's a lot, I love obviously the top coins like Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, Bitcoin Cash even I like. I love Cardano long term. I think what that's going to do long term is going to be huge for the world. Getting in at $1, whatever, under $2, $3, I think is a steal. I think IMX will be Immutable X. I think that'll be a solid token as well. I mean, that's already on Coinbase. And once people find out like they have the Veve NFTs, I think
Right.
that's going to shoot up big time.
Right.
I even think, all right, Sandbox. It's another metaverse virtual reality. I think Veveverse will be way better.
Yeah.
Because Disney's going to make sure that their IP brands are on the most premium metaverse possible. But I think for the short term, while that's getting built and everything, there's going to be a place like kids are going to be wanting to like play around with the goggles on or the virtual reality stuff in the sandbox. I think that's going to have a decent chance to do well with they have like Roller Coaster Tycoon in there, I imagine. Just the same way I used to love building parks on the desktop computer, Roller Coaster Tycoon. I would want to probably put on the virtual reality and go and build a theme park in real life type thing. So, and that's only one. They have the Bored Apes, like all the NFT projects in there that people are into. So that probably could do well. But I think for me, I would tend to stick more. Like if I'm going to invest in metaverses, I would put all my chips into Veve's metaverse and just wait until that, you could probably, play the game, put it in here first, try to let that run up, take profits, put it in here. But like, I don't really like trying to play those games too much. It's to me, that's like, I've listed my TOD a couple times to try to like sell for like 8K, buy back at like 5K, kind of like what Gale was talking about. But after watching Gale's video, shout out to Gale, man. I mean, we all he talks about how he regrets kind of letting go of that blue chip because then you don't know when that floor is going to rise. And I almost did what he did. I was so close to, because I have 1,000 mint TODs left. I have 3 of them. And so the floor price is usually a little bit higher, or the price of that is usually a little bit higher than what the floor is.
Yeah.
So I always think about like, all right, let me let go of this TOD for like 7.5K and then buy back at 5.6. I almost did that when TOD was like at 3K. That's the thing that he did. And I just decided not to do it. And I'm so thankful I did because we didn't know. No one knew that the floor of TOD was just going to skyrocket when it did. And so, I mean, Gale's video really talked about how just don't mess with blue chips. When you have those holy grails, just don't mess with them.
Yeah.
You don't want to know how much I paid for my TOD, man.
Right, exactly. Like,
you don't want to know.
Like
you don't want to know, bro.
Wait, what? What's that?
I caught TOD during the last massive dip.
You did?
Yeah.
You call him or you sold him, you said?
Got him.
Oh, let's go. That's big time.
I paid $19.45 for my TOD, bro.
Let's go. I mean, those are the opportunities right there where like, did you know that like you got a good deal or you weren't sure if you were going to?
Yeah, I've been on the app since March, so I've seen TOD.
Yeah.
That was one of the pieces that I wanted. Was totally out my range since day one. I've seen it 5K, 3K, all these crazy numbers, But yeah, even going back to what you're saying about with the Gale and stuff, man, even before these 12 days of Veve, I'm counting on my experiences and understanding gem squeezes and how much of a percentage things usually go down. And there was a lot to learn even during the 12 days of Veve to me. Like that gem squeeze was not as intense as most. And I had to analyze why not, you know what I'm saying? And definitely through talking to a couple of people, I think at the end of the day, it's a combination of we have more collectibles on the app today than we had 2 or 3 months ago when we had the last squeeze. So people's investments are spread out across more things. Then you have more users on the app. So even if everyone's in a panic for gems, it's like everyone's trying to sell 1 or 2 things, but it's like all these different things. So it's not like as concentrated. When it's like, if we only have like 8 things that are actually hot, that are sellable, we're all trying to sell the same thing. And then you get that undercutting effect. But when it's so spread out across comics and this, that, not everybody owns like 100 items. So they might only have like 5 items that they like to just constantly flip and rotate. So it just didn't translate to that much of a squeeze. So I had like that Robin, Carmine, Infantino. That I bought that the same time I bought the TOD too. Oh, so what it was
that skyrocketed lately.
Yeah, I had I think I had the Spider-Man. I had an ultra rare Spider-Man, Amazing Spider-Man 1. That's what I sold to get into those. You know what I'm saying? Sold it for like 3,000 something or whatever it was at the time. I don't remember. But yeah, man, I kind of did that same thing where I got rid of the Robin. This is before the 12 days of Veve, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna just buy it back. I want to have a nice amount of gems. for all of these drops, this, that, and the third. Okay, cool. And then you were also talking about this earlier. You were like, you got to have gem discipline, bro. Because when you're sitting on gems, like you said, it's easy to buy stuff. It's so easy. And then you perceive deals. You're like, wait a minute. So this is what I did. I saw a Rain Corno sitting there like for 6 something, like let's say 630. And then the next one was like 680. Then it went 699. So I'm like, yo, let me get this for 630. And
Price about to run up.
Right. Like I could flip it, and I could even do this before the 12 days start.
Right.
Little did I realize though, yeah, you can grab stuff for, under the next one listed. But if it's not a hot item and you're talking hundreds of dollars, and there still is a decent amount of the population that's savvy enough to know these drops are coming, let me hold my stuff, you may not get to flip that anytime soon. So I was sitting there with 600 plus gems stuck basically during the whole 12 days of Veve. And then everything was going down. So it was like, and
couldn't even sell it.
Right. And then my goal was to get into Nightwing. That was my goal. So I was like, okay, maybe because of all these 12 days of constant poundage, Nightwing will go down too. Maybe I'll come up on a couple drops, sell something, get my gems up. By the end of it, I have no original Robin. I have no Nightwing right now, and I barely got any gems. I got a lot of Deadpools and a lot of Groots and, stuff that I'm hoping will, 10x or whatever, but the plan didn't work out, and I feel like I have less collectibles than I did then, but I don't. Like I technically have more, but they're just cheaper in value. But my stuff is spread out way more now, and I kind of feel good because like I was talking about with Joe, like the MCP points are definitely, like I was sleeping at first, but I'm realizing how important they're going to be for getting drops.
That's going to be like the only way to get drops almost in the future. And we're going to have some crazy, crazy drops to where, you may get a collectible that's, 20K value just because of those MC points. Like, so we really don't know. And about the Groot and the Deadpool and everything like that, it's just you have these collectibles right now. Everybody's kind of anticipating a whole bunch of stuff dropping. So, I mean, holiday stuff, we don't know how it's going to affect. But I think everything on the Veve app will go up in value. It's not like, a year from now it's going to go down. It's just how quick is each one going to go up and down? That's like the battle. I've gotten stuck with things like that too. Like you said, you see huge gaps in prices and you're like, oh, wow. If I get this one in a couple hours, it could easily just go up. I've done that 100 times. And then new people list stuff and you're like, oh no, it's going back down. And you're like,
going down. Like, oh,
like, dang, it's not working out at all. And then you don't have the gems to get, and it's like, so that's why, it's so tough, man. I mean, that's why people, talking about their mistakes, talking about this, it helps because you realize, okay, not only you're not the only one who makes mistakes, other people make mistakes. It reminds you, things to do, things not to do. Like, I know I should not be messing with Todd. Like, I shouldn't be doing that because at the end of the day, I'm messing with Todd for $1,000, like to make 800 gems. Like, are those gems really worth it in case Todd goes to say 12K and then I don't?
And then it's out of your range altogether.
Yo, and so, oh man, it makes me like, I got chills.
So going along those lines, what is one of the worst purchases on Veve, investment wise, that you did? That you're like, damn, that right there I got burned on that one. And you know what? And also the best. Okay.
Best. I'll start with the best. Because honestly, I've lucked out. I'm so fortunate. I'm gonna knock on wood here. I haven't had too many like, oh no, like I've almost had some really bad mistakes, including the first one where I almost didn't go all in on Veve. I almost stopped at 3 collectibles and that was it. And like that was the second fork in the road I meant to talk about. My first fork in the road moment in my life was I chose baseball over golf at a young age. Like I could feel that was the fork in the road. It was like a shift in the universe. And the next shift in the universe for me was going all in on Veve. I almost stopped at 3 collectibles. Like I remember talking to my mom after I bought the 3 saying like, all right, mom, there's this new investment that I think we need to double down and go all in on right now. And so like, if I didn't have this talk with my mom, we didn't call the credit card company, like so many things where if we didn't do, I'd have 2 or 3 collectibles right now. And it'd be a whole different story, everything for me. And I'd be sitting here thinking like, oh my God, like I didn't trust myself. Like, so for me, that was one of my best decisions to really just just do it, you know? And so I've had some great wins over the time. My next best win was when I had 2 Da Vinci's. I got the wall. I sold a whole bunch of duplicate collectibles. I had to sell my like couple Jokers, Harley Quinns. I was able to get the Walt Disney at 2.6K. But then like I talked about before, I sold the Da Vinci at 4, and then I got the Walt before it really ran up. Woke up in the morning, was like, oh my, because I thought I could wake up, and Da Vinci does that, and Walt's at 3K still. So I was like, I don't know. I think Da Vinci will go crazy too. To the point where I've thought about now selling the Walt for like 13K, buying 2 more Da Vinci's at, and then it's like, but I feel like I can't play too many games, you know, like like I'm playing chance and like I win a couple and don't keep.
But it's almost semantics at that point. It's almost semantical. Like, come on, man, we splitting hairs here almost.
Right, exactly. It's like, you know, like you're testing your luck. Like, how many times can you keep winning? You know, you're gonna take a big L if I keep going.
Yeah,
That
man.
would be,
Yo, for real, for real.
So those are some of my wins. I'll talk about some of my losses now. I sold it. I had 7 Todds. I had 6 or 7 Todds early. I bought for retail.
Oh,
Holy,
wow.
holy.
I gotta go
This
to
is what I
bed.
mean. Ready? So I'll talk about the quick wins and then kind of how I lost. So 7 Todds I bought retail. 7 FA Jokers I bought retail. 7 Harley Quinns I bought retail. Like 6 Joe M's I bought retail. At this point, I knew Veve. I'm telling people, Veve's gonna have hundreds of thousands of users. People are saying, "Dude, stop buying Todds. They're not gonna sell out. There's too many editions." And I'm like, "Oh my god, no! This is red hot. People don't get it yet." So I'm just hitting buy. Going crazy, dude. Literally going crazy. So throughout the, you know, I knew they were going to be more than $400 or $500, but you know, trying to build my collection up at the time, like the FA Infantino Robin. I traded, shout out to Todd Fowler, Crypto Khaki. This is like a great trade. We always talk about this because it was a moment in time where we knew the future would work out to where he would win, but we knew in the short term it would look like I'm the winner. But I needed to finish this set. So I traded the Todd McFarlane Batman and the FA Joker for the Infantino Robin. I got the Robin, he got the Todd and the FA Joker. And at the time, Todd was like $300. FA Joker was like 150. And the FA Robin was like 750 maybe, or like 700. So FA Robin was like way more expensive than both combined. People were like almost like laughing at him, like, what are you doing? But we knew, like, we talked about it. We're like, you're probably going to win long term on this, but like, I need this set. And so I was kind of trading Todds back then for sets, even though a lot of them were like important sets. It would be worth it now just to hold my 7 Todds, and then I'll go get the sets like now.
Right.
So those are some of my L's that I took, but not crazy L's. Another kind of L I took was I wanted to go, since I depleted all my duplicates almost, like I had like at one point I was buying, once I realized FA and everything, the FA Captain America, I bought 30 of those when they were like less than $20. Like, not, I didn't get in when they're like $4, but like $15 range. I was like, this is my pick right here. Going ham. These have to get over like $50. And if I buy 30 at 15 and they're over $50, boom. But then Walt Disney happened, and I was like, oh man, I need to try to get Walt Disney. So I sold off like 20 of those at like $30, $40 range to help get the Walt, along with a whole bunch of other collectibles. But basically I depleted my duplicate bag of like all those. So I was like, all right, what's my next like big duplicate I'm stocking up on? For some reason I chose the Common Hulk comic book that was like $11, $12 at the time. Like, I'm buying 50 of these. I bought 45 of these. Bad decision. I mean, I spent like $700. I had like 1,500 gems at the time. I was like, boom. And it's probably like $13 floor right now. So it's probably gone up like a couple dollars, maybe. Yeah. And it's not the comic book that's like a great comic book. That's not like, it's not, you know, you're
not a crowd banger.
No. So it's probably going to take a long time for that one to double.
Because you got to minus the fee and all this crap too. So it's like, oh.
It's a bad one to choose. The low end Marvel comic.
Wish you would have hollered at me, man. I know my comics. I'd have guided you the right way. Like, oh,
that was before I knew anything.
That was like instead. Maybe it was like $9. Get that instead.
That was before I knew anything about comics. I should have talked to you, Sleeping Comics, Riptos and Comics. Like, Now I'm on my ball in my comic game, but that was one of my worst mistakes. So that's like my giveaway right now. Like anytime I do giveaways, I give away like a comic Hulk.
Well, there you go. I mean, it worked out. And at the end, you know what? It worked out.
Like that's the thing. I looked at it like, okay, maybe not every comic book does well and this one goes down, but at the end of the day, it was $700. I had over 1,000 gems. I mean, it was a big mistake, but it's not like a life-changing mistake, you know. It's like I got a ton of Hulk comics now. It was an L, took an L probably, but you know, can't make every winning decision.
Everything will have its day. It's just how long it's going to take for that day to
take
come.
a year or two.
Right. Well, as you mentioned earlier, you know, certain items are going to go up sooner than others, but they're all going to go see their day. They're all going to go up. Right. So, all right. So we've spoken about a bunch of different things, you know, you from being 2 years old, playing golf, college, all of that. We spoke about obviously Veve and whatnot. So a few personal questions, you know, like what is your favorite food that you like to eat?
Ooh, okay. This is a good one. This is good. I'll give you the common answer that everybody's going to say, but it is my favorite. I'm starting to get fat right now. My diet's been not good. I've been eating too much of this lately, but definitely some pizza. I like a bit buffalo chicken pizza. It's probably like my go-to favorite. But everybody likes pizza, right? So I got to come up with another one other than that. Another one of my favorites, I mean, this is kind of common too, so maybe I'll come up with a third like uncommon one that I like. But like I'm a huge fan of like pasta and Alfredo sauce, like the Italian bunch of carbs. That's why I'm getting fat, because I like the pizza, the chicken Alfredo stuff. But I would say, all right, a third one that's kind of like traditional to my background that we eat that most people won't eat are Jamaican patties. Have you ever heard of Jamaican patties?
Of course, yeah.
So it's just like, it's simple. It's just like beef and a little pastry shell. It's nothing crazy.
Dude, I'm still talking about oxtails and curry goat. That's what I'll be naming as my favorites. I told him West Indian. I just said West Indian all together to cover it.
So my dad's actually really upset with my eating habits because I'm actually the pickiest eater in the world, and he loves to cook all that kind of food. And so my mom is picky too. So he hates it because he'll end up cooking all this crazy, awesome food. Like you're talking about curry chicken. I do like curry chicken a lot, but like all types of different food, right? Like he's not a picky eater. He'll whip up all kinds of meals, but he'll end up being the only one who eats it. He'll take it to work and just
bro, see, now I have to come through Jersey for dinner, man. Help
you guys are all invited. You're gonna have to eat some of my pop's cooking, man.
Leave a tray or two, you know what I'm saying? Help him out.
Absolutely.
Oh man.
I'll try and stuff, but like I'm not a big fan of it. Like trying a whole bunch of stuff. I gotta broaden my taste.
Did he make you eat porridge?
What's that?
Did he try to make you eat porridge?
No, he's never tried to make me eat porridge. Nope.
All right. So what about places that you would like to visit?
Ooh, that's a great question right there. So I'm like a warm weather type person. I've been to Florida a few times. In college baseball, we would always take a trip to Florida to play for a week. That's the only time I've ever gotten on a plane. Used to go to like
Florida, Winter Haven.
Yes, Winter Haven. How'd you know that?
My nephew played college baseball, and that's where he would go.
I would have never even remembered that name if you didn't say that. Holy crap. That's it. Probably stayed at the same hotels. Wow, that's crazy. Yep, we would go there. That's crazy. Winter Haven. Yep, the whole sports complex.
I'm like an hour away.
Wow, that's awesome. So I would have a time in my life every time, because I mean, I'm from the East Coast, Jersey. It's cold half the year. So when I get to places like Florida and it's warm like that, it just puts me in a whole different mood. Like it really does. So, and being on planes, I would never travel on a plane by myself. I can't do it. But like being there with my whole team and everything, I felt way better. I was like, if we go down, we all go down, you know? But love Florida, man. I want to get to Texas just to visit Texas. I have a brother who lives out to Texas. Love to go to Cali too, just to visit. I've never been on the West Coast. So for me, I want to try to get to Cali at least sometime soon, just to visit. I've never even been outside of the country. My whole family, well, to Canada, that's a lie. Shout out to Canada. I've been to Canada once. But my whole family, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh, Jamaica?
I was just about to say, my whole family has been to Jamaica, except me. They went, the last time they went, my mom was pregnant with me. So like, I went there. But we'll probably be able to go back at some point, like to the hotels and that kind of part. But where my dad lived in Jamaica, he said we'd never probably be able to go back there because it's not safe place anymore to where he lived.
Right.
Things kind of changed, but that's also why they moved to America, because they saw where things kind of were going and where they were living, and they felt like it was just safer for the family eventually just to come to the States. So
Right.
So all right. So what about like if you were gonna be a superhero, what superhero would you be?
oh, you guys already know that, man. Batman, come on, man. Batman's my favorite. It's like I feel like Batman resonates with so many people because he's not like he's like a person, right? He's just a rich,
Right.
like, he's got everything, came from the family, so like he's just a crime stopper, like he just gets all the bad guys. So, and like the way he's like mysterious too at the same time. I feel like I resonate with Batman a lot.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Okay. I ask everybody this. If you were to go